I want to tell you a story. It's about a boy, a child. His name is Manuel. This past summer I traveled to the city of Lubangu in Angola, Africa.
We're about to take a drive through the streets of Lubangu. How do you feel?
I feel pretty
I
nervous.
came with my father to work in the local mission hospital. For the occasion I borrowed a camera, not knowing what to expect exactly, but counting on a few things. I expected to see trash, to see poverty, to see crime and disease. What I did not expect was Manuel. I entered the children's ward after following my father on his rounds. All day we had seen the sick and dying. I was tired of sick people, of standing, of the smell. Then I saw those two pools of sadness. Silently they gazed up at us, speaking of tragedy that Shakespeare never knew. It was all I could do to stand, to not look away. Manuel lay swathed in bandages, immobilized on his little bed. He whimpered softly but never screamed as the nurses removed his bandages, revealing an infection that had ravaged his torso from top to bottom. As he lay with his wound bared, he stared up at us, eyes asking if this reality was normal.
This is Manuel. Manuel's 4 years old, and a couple of days ago he started with some redness on his abdomen, which exploded into an infection that has ripped open his skin. This is the kind of child who will very likely not make it. This is a very, very serious illness, and we do the very best we can here in Angola under the circumstances. This is a kid who, in the United States, would be in a children's hospital with at least 4 or 5 consultants.
My father explained to me that were he living in America, several doctors would attend him with equipment to assist his recovery. As it was, he received only brief visits from the single doctor running the entire hospital. His infected body was malnourished and afflicted by malaria. Dressing changes and antibiotics were all that could be done to treat his infection. All that he had for pain was Tylenol. I watched Manuel through the weeks with fearful anticipation. As days passed without news, I waited to hear of his death. But he didn't die. Each time the report came back, he's the same, or not worse. Finally, after a particularly tense morning of waiting, my dad rushed in with the news. Manuel was better. I grabbed my camera and we ran to the children's ward.
Okay, we're back with Manuel. Yesterday we went to the operating room and I opened up these abscesses on his chest. Got about 100 milliliters of pus drained out here as soon as I opened him up. He's already completely down to his muscle on this side, but he's awake this morning. He's comfortable. It's amazing. We have him getting ceftriaxone, which is...
He was better. The infection was healing and the wound receding. But our time in Angola was drawing to a close. Soon after, we left, and this is the end of the story, I know. But for Manuel, the story doesn't end here, or even in recovery. He lives in a reality of deprivation. deprivation of medical care, of water, of sanitation, of electricity, of maintained roads, of education. For these things my prayers will continue, as will my conviction to spread his story and the plight of those like him. The Evangelical Medical Center of Lubangu stands above the city, sharing a hill with the statue of Christu Rey, for which it is called Hospital of Christ the King.
My name is Sarah Foster Fabiano.
I'm Steve Collins.
My name is Art Johnson.
My name is Hannah Chu.
My name is Josh.
My name is Lucilamo Lozwal. Here I'm a nurse.
The growing yet small community of medical professionals and students, led by Dr. Stephen Foster, extend their talents to assist a population still healing itself from a brutal war. Their most earnest plea is for help, for personnel to use their time to save the lives of those that need it so desperately. In absence of this sacrifice, a donation would be graciously accepted, as would your prayers. Finding myself unable to meet their needs, I instead extend a message to you, to show the reality of a world in need. With this knowledge, you may take the next step, whatever you deem that to be. I don't know what your destiny will be, but one thing I know. The only ones among you who will be really happy are those who have sought and found how to serve. Albert Schweitzer.